and welcome to How to Cook Great Food. With thousands of recipes and millions of views, why not subscribe to our channel and join the family?
Welcome back once again to howtocookgreatfood.com. If you have not already, please click that button and subscribe to our channel. On the menu today, as you can see, straight out of the oven, we're making a mac and cheese kind of thing, or baked, al forno pasta with a garlic chicken. I really love this. My family really love it. I think you're going to love it. Let's go and do it. Okay, so let's get started and have a look at this. So, onions. I've got some red onion I'm using today. You can use white or brown, entirely up to you. I've cut them quite small. Breast chicken, no bone, no skin there. I've just cut that into quite small pieces. Try and do it, depending on what pasta you're going to use. Try and do it the same size of your pasta, or roughly that sort of size. Here I've got some cheddar cheese grated, which we're going to add later. Chopped tomatoes, fresh tomatoes. There's like one medium size or one large one there. Again, try and use a nice ripe one. The riper the better. Here I've got some bechamel sauce. Now I'm not going to make bechamel sauce within this video because it would just take too long. We have made it on the channel before, so I'll put the link there. But bechamel basically is flour, butter and milk with a few other little bits you can put in. Yeah, it would just take too long. You're going to have to make a roux and such. So no need to do that today. So bechamel sauce. I've got some fresh parsley there. You could also use another fresh herb if you want. I always like a fresh herb in any food, quite frankly. So fresh basil would really work actually. Some optional black olives. I've just chopped them up a little bit roughly. I'm going to throw them in, no stones in there. Parmesan cheese, finely grated, that's going to go in the mix. Some chopped garlic, and then I've got here salt and pepper. I've got a little bit of oregano, dried oregano or oregano. And just over here, I've got a little bit of chili powder or cayenne. Again, that's optional, gives it a nice little kick. Let's go over to the cooker. Okay, so here we go. I've got a kind of large pan. We're going to need a large pan. And by the way, we're obviously going to need some pasta of some sort. So get that cooked and ready. Large pan here. I've got some olive oil in there. Use any oil you want, but olive oil kind of works for me on this one. We're going to start off by dropping in that little bit of chopped garlic along with our onions. Now I like to keep my onions nice and kind of small for this, as they kind of cook into the sauce nicely. While we're here, we can get our salt, pepper, oregano and that little bit of cayenne or chili pepper in there. Again, you could use some dried basil or one of those, Italian ready mixed things, like a mixture of 4 or 5 herbs. And while I'm here, I'm just going to get those little olives in. Again, of course, green could work, couldn't they? Right, let's just cook this for just like 2 minutes on a kind of medium heat. There we go, just a couple of minutes that was. Let's get it all together, Now we're going to go in with our chicken breast. Nice and thin, like I say. No skin, no bone in there. The reason I've cut it quite thin is that it will cook quite quickly, and also it's great when it's in the pasta. You don't want big chunks of it in there. So again, I reckon 3 minutes on this kind of medium heat, just to get it going. Keep stirring. There we are, it's looking wonderful. Really pleased to put that bit of chilli in. I like that. So, now, we're going in with that fresh tomato. As I said before, try and get a nice ripe tomato in there. And what we're going to do, again, on this medium heat, we're sticking to this, we're going to cook this for another 2 to 3 minutes. That will ensure that the chicken's properly cooked for sure then, and those tomatoes will break down a little bit and give off a little bit of juice. Keep stirring. There we go, look at that. I've got a nice amount of juice out of there. That's with those tomatoes cooking and breaking down. And that's wonderful if you ask me. Right, let's just turn that heat down a little bit. What we're going to do now, we're going to get that bechamel in there, that little bit of bechamel sauce. Now you don't want the heat up high when this bechamel goes in because it can burn quite easily. Get a little bit of that parmesan in, that parsley or your fresh herb. Then I'm going to put just a little bit of grated cheddar in, you know, or some other cheese you could put in. Just a little bit, saving the rest. That's going to go on the top. Now, here we go. Get this mixed in. The combination of the tomatoes, the bechamel, and the 2 cheeses that we put in, going to really thicken this up. It'll be absolutely wonderful. So on a low heat now, just want to get some heat right through this and melt that cheese into it. Let's just do this, I don't know, 3 to 4 minutes, I would say, stirring constantly. Great stuff. Off goes the heat. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my already cooked pasta. I'm going to start throwing it in. You can use any pasta you want. Rigatoni, a penne, farfalle, any shape you want. Or traditional macaroni. Now let's get that in. We'll give it a nice mix. Now we don't want too much pasta. We don't want it to be really dry because we're going to bake this off, remember. Although you could eat this just like this right now, it'd be wonderful. But yeah, we're going to bake it off. So let's try and get a nice bit of sauce in there. And it's quite important to turn this over and get some of the sauce on every bit of your pasta. So let me do that, and then we're just going to get this in a baking tray. Pop some of that cheddar cheese on, maybe a bit more parmesan perhaps, and then we're going to whack that in the oven, full blast, absolutely maximum heat, because everything here is already cooked. We're just going to bring it together and brown that cheese. Okay, so I've now got an oven-proof dish. This is ceramic, of course. You can use glass, you could even use metal, no problem. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to load up this tray with our beautiful pasta. So in she goes. We're just going to flatten that down. This is nice and thick, this one. Make it as thick or as thin as you like. That looks great. Just about enough moisture in there to keep it happy. And then I'm going to go with some grated cheddar cheese. You could add any cheese that you wanted. You could even go for a blue cheese, maybe. That would be good. Very strong, but could be good. But you know, a decent cheddar. I mean, this is a nice mature cheddar we've got here, which I like. And you could, if you wanted, pop a little bit more parmesan on the top here. I'm not going to. I am though going to just put a little sprinkle of oregano on the top. So like I say, get your oven on now, full blast, maximum heat. Get it nice and hot, and pop this in. Middle shelf. I would say that's going to be in my oven about 8 to 9 minutes. You know what we're looking for, that nice kind of golden brown stuff on the top there. See you in a moment. There we go, straight out of the oven, piping hot, really, really hot. As you can see, we've got that golden brown, very obvious what we're going for there. Really easy, really tasty, makes a little change I suppose. Play around with it. As I always say, maybe put a little bit of pesto in the mix there if you wanted. Entirely up to you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. That really does help us out a lot. We'll see you soon. Lots of love.
With thousands of recipes and millions of views, why not subscribe to our channel and join the family?